Well, hey there, gardeners. I'm so glad you joined me today. I have a new area that I just planted up in perennials, mostly perennials. There's a few annuals, but it's a perennial pollinator garden, and it's the 1st of August. Here's a question of the day. When it turns August, does that make you feel like, oh, autumn is on the way? It makes me feel that way. You know, July, especially here in zone 6B, I don't know, maybe your zone is the same or more so, but July can be so hot. And August can be really warm too, but anyway, I'm walking down here to this perennial garden. But anyway, when August 1st hits, which was my parents' anniversary, it would be 76 years if they were still with us. They were married very young. So happy anniversary, Mom and Dad. But anyway, when August rolls around, I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, autumn is on the way. We can do this. We got through a really hot month, and we're almost to autumn, which is probably maybe my favorite season. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna take you on a little tour. And I went in my greenhouse and I got tags of some of the things so that I could be really more accurate with what I'm talking about. But I'll show you this little pollinator garden. It turned out great. I'm really happy with it. So let's take a look. So for a point of reference, this is our driveway coming up here. And you can see that hill there, very steep hill. We're on a slope here. Almost the entire yard is on a slope. But sometimes that hill has been some years covered in poppies, the orange poppies. This year it's covered in Queen Anne's lace. It's got some black-eyed Susan in there. Sometimes it's covered in chicory. It's been very odd that the different wildflowers that grow in that hill. When I first realized this space was kind of plantable, I planted up. It's like, you know, when you find dirt, plant in it. It's got a rock ledge that's kind of along in there that's under the ground, and then it comes up on top of the ground. So you have to work around that. But last year I had Glorioso Daisy Rudbeckia. It was absolutely gorgeous, but it's kind of a borderline perennial for me here in zone 6B, so it really didn't last throughout the season, and it didn't reseed itself. In a few places it reseeded itself, and I'll show you in a minute. But anyway, I decided I wanted a little bit more permanent. The year before that, I think I had an annual Salvia. I think it was like Rockin blue suede shoes, which was okay, but it didn't really pop. And so I thought, okay, let's just redo this, give this little garden bed a makeover. So you can see all of the echinacea here that I have put in. Have you ever planted up a space and had nightmares about it? Like, oh no, is it going to, have I overplanted it? Is it too crowded? Is it going to explode next year? Am I going to be able to get in there and weed it? It's like, oh, I don't know. But anyway, I'm enjoying it for now. So you can see all the echinacea. This is Sombrero echinacea, and I have all the colors in here. I decided I was not going to worry about a color palette. I love bright and pop in colors, so I have all the colors. So I had to have this sombrero. When I saw it at the nursery, it was like, oh, you're coming home with me, baby. So you can see right next to it, I have the pink tall phlox and just these summer phlox, you know. So these two are new. I just planted here. This one was already here. I had a few things in here. This is a dwarf Monarda or bee balm here, and it's just about done. Let me step back here and get these tags. It's hard to handle these tags one-handed. Let's go back to the Salsa Red, Sombrero Salsa Red Coneflower. Isn't that gorgeous? Let me see if I can find the tag for the Monarda. Drop that one. Okay, it's in here because I just saw it. All right, this one is Sugar Buzz Rockin Raspberry Bee Balm. It's a dwarf, and it was gorgeous when I planted it, but I love the seed heads too. Let's drop that one. All right, let's move around a little faster. This is Pow Wow White Echinacea here, and then, oh, hello. You are welcome, beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted. Exactly. Those are the bees. So this Nephophia here, the orange one and the red one is just about done. But I have never grown Nephophia before. I've never had it in my garden. And I didn't think I liked it, but I love it. It's just so unique. And I've been cutting off all the old bloom stalks, and it's just been repeat blooming. The reddish one has just about gone over, but anyway, so fun. And then this is Serendipity Allium by Proven Winners. Now it's all done, its thing, because it blooms in early summer, and the blooms last for couple weeks, but they're dispersed throughout this little garden. So you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I don't really have a definite edge here. I do weed eat, so I'm going to have to be able to really be diligent to keep the weeds out. Now, I don't use any wood mulch, but I do mulch with compost. You can see I have compost all mulched in there. So I'm going to have to work hard to be diligent to keep the weeds out. I've got a couple daylilies, and they're kind of, I forget the color now, but anyway, they were pretty when they were in bloom. And then I had bought a couple of just annual aster here. These are powder puff aster. They were like half price at a nursery, so I just said, let's give them a little bit more life, and I've been enjoying those. And then I have some annual salvia in here that is a must for me in any garden. Another echinacea there. Some of the echinacea are just getting ready to go over. Now this is some of the Rudbeckia that's kind of borderline for me, so it may not come back, and you can see the bugs have really dirtied up the blooms, but that's okay. I still like the pop of yellow. This is a Pow Wow Echinacea in here, the Pow Wow, whatever you call that, Pow Wow pink or something, and love it so much. So more Serendipity Allium, more Echinacea. There's different heights of Echinacea in here. And this little dude here, I think is an old Daylily, I think. I'm not positive what that is. But anyway, if it doesn't behave itself, it's going to have to come out because I don't want it to crowd the other things. Then you can see I have a couple straw flowers that I had left extra that I couldn't fit in my other straw flower bed, so I just put them in here. And then I don't really remember doing this, but I must have sowed some Cosmo seeds. You can see they're wanting to start blooming here pretty soon, so I must have done that. And you see here the little rock ledge. That is rock right there is under the ground, so I had to work around that. This little bunch right here is some of the Gloriosa Daisy Rudbeckia. So I thought, okay, but it's got some grass and weeds, so you can see what I'm saying about making sure I try to be able to get in here and keep it well weeded. And I'm going to walk down here so I don't fall down the hill. But I had fun kind of building my little rock wall here around. And we have plenty of rock, so I have it readily available for me. I like the different echinaceas that I have. Some of them are the butter yellow color. This is a Penstemon here, a beard tongue, and it's I cut it back because it finished blooming. And then another summer phlox. This is a dwarf Liatris. Let me get out of my shadow here. Let me turn around this way. And I love, love, love the Liatris, like the blazing star and everything, but they get so tall and they can flop over. Let me see if I can fish out the tag on this. You can see this is the one. And so I was so excited to have found it, and it's getting ready to bloom. It's budded up there. This is a goldenrod. Here, it's a variety. I can't remember which variety it is, but it's not like the native goldenrod we have here on the farm that I dry. So I'm excited to see this one bloom. And then more of the Rudbeckia. There's that Salsa red sombrero again. Ooh, I love that thing. And then this one, let me see if I have the tag. It might be the Seeker Mellow Coneflower Echinacea. That might be that one. Anyway, I love the difference in the lighter yellow one that I have over here. And then this one is more of a kind of, my friend on Instagram called it like a cantaloupe color. And I would say that's cantaloupe color. This is a perennial salvia, and I hope I don't regret this particular salvia. I had the tag, but it's gone. Anyway, I need to cut it back now, but when I say I hope I don't regret it, it's because I haven't had a huge success in perennial salvias, but maybe it'll be okay. This is a dwarf butterfly bush here, and I am in the process of getting certified for a certified pollinator garden, and they don't like for you to have butterfly bush because in some states the butterfly bush is invasive, but it's not here in my state. So hopefully I will be okay. I want to show you my little rock terracing one more time. I'm kind of proud here of my little rock wall, and some of these rocks is like, do you get excited over rocks? Look at the lichen and so forth on this, or whatever that's called, on this rock. I mean, I was giving the cows some mineral at a certain field, and the rock pile was all clean. It wasn't full of bushes and everything, and I said, oh yeah, okay, I can get some nice rock. Look at this one. It's like a little seat. Isn't that cute? Anyway, I know I'm silly. I get excited over rocks, but I'm really happy with how this turned out. All right, we're going to wrap this thing up here today. Leave me a comment if you're renovating any of your gardens, if you've added anything new. Just let me know. I love to hear what's going on in other people's gardens. And I hope maybe you saw some of the pairings here that you can just sort of pair things together, annuals and perennials. And you can make a nice little pollinator garden that you enjoy and that your pollinators enjoy. So if you've come across this channel and you haven't yet subscribed, I'd love to ask you to do that. I'd love for you to join us here, and we would welcome you. So until next time, friends, happy gardening. Bye-bye.